Hi everyone, how are you? Let me go get some water, alright? Okay, I'm back. Can you guys see my screen and hear me clearly? Good evening. Sure, I will let you guys know, and we will go through AUD USD, AUD CAD, and other pairs. Okay? Don't worry, alright? Hi Ren. How are you? Alright, let's wait for a few more minutes before the rest of the attendees come in, alright? Just want to let you guys know if you can hear me clearly and see my screen. Type in the chat please, thank you. Okay, let's go. Alright, so welcome back to another IC Markets Global webinar. Alright, today we will go through the pre-market live analysis with me. Alright. Okay, just so we have a disclaimer. Everything in this webinar is educational in nature and nothing should be construed as as usual. Alright. Okay, so the agenda for today, we will go through high impact news events for the week as well as key technical setups to watch out for. Alright, very simple stuff. Okay, so I'm your host for today. My name is Woon, and I'll be going through with you guys today's pre-market live analysis. Okay, so we will go through the key news events. For Monday and Tuesday, we don't have any red folded news. Alright, so we only have Wednesday, Thursdays, and Fridays for red folded news. Okay, so we have the French flash manufacturing PMI, as well as the German flash manufacturing PMI, as well as the GBP flash manufacturing PMI, as well as the USD flash manufacturing PMI. Alright, so for Thursday we have the GBP BOE Governor Bailey speaking, as well as the USD unemployment claims. Alright, so for this news, unemployment claims, it will be very volatile, so please remember to make sure that you guys won't trade during this timing. Alright, you can trade about 15 minutes to 30 minutes after. Okay, so on Friday we have the GBP retail sales, CHF chairman speaking, CAD core retail sales, as well as CAD retail sales. Okay, so yeah, we will go through any key technical setups to watch out for this week. Alright, and if you guys want to if you guys want to go through any pairs, just let me know and I will go through with you guys. Alright, so let me go to the Alright, so this is the exciting part. Okay, so let's go through the XY. Okay, let's go through the XY. So this will be our pivot point. Alright, because we have a support level over here as well as a resistance level over here. Alright, so we have two reactions over here. Alright, so we are expecting for price to go down. Okay, very simple stuff. Let me see if we can. Alright, let me see. I think this is the more. Pivot point. Okay, because right here we have the resistance. Okay, then price has already gone down from here, so we cannot use this as our pivot point. Alright, so we will use this as our pivot point because price is going down and we would like to see if price can come down over here to this pivot point and we have a bounce over here. Alright, okay, so let's look out for our first support level. I think this is a valid first support level. Alright, because we have a overlap resistance level or overlap support level. Okay, we have one reaction here, we have two reactions here, and we have a breakout over here. Alright, so this is counted as a overlap support level over here. Oops, my mouse is okay. Alright, this is our first support. Okay, so we are expecting for price to have a bounce over here, bullish arrow. Okay, very simple stuff. Let me see if we can find any our pivot point aligns very nicely with the 127.2% extension level, which is very good. Alright, so this is a valid pivot point. Okay, we can't find any Fibo retracement level, so this will do. Okay, so once we are done with the DXY level, let's move on to AUD USD and AUD CAD. Alright, let's go through these two pairs that is requested. Okay, AUD USD. Okay, so AUD USD, we have a pivot point over here. Alright, yeah, I think this is a very valid pivot point over here because it is a overlap resistance level. Okay, we have multiple reactions over here. Okay, and this will be our overlap resistance level. Okay, our first resistance level, and then we have our I don't really like this support level over here. Okay, but I think this might be a possible swing trade, honestly, right? Because I know this, we have a very huge gap over here, right? Between the pivot point and the resistance, and the pivot point and the support level. Okay, but if I were to put it over here, right, it wouldn't really make much sense because this is a stronger level over here. Alright, yeah, if I were to put a support level over here, it wouldn't really make any sense. So I would like to put the support level over here. Alright, first support. Okay, so we are projecting for price to drop over here. Alright, from the pivot point to the first support level. Okay, let me see. Yeah, I think this is pretty straightforward for AUD USD. Oh, severe echo. Let me see. Testing. Oh, severe echo. Let me see. Oh yes, okay. Testing. Oh, severe. Is there still echo right now? Let me check my OBS audio capture. Okay, let me see properties. Sorry, Okay, let me try this microphone. Okay, testing. 1, 2, 3. Can you guys hear me clearly? I changed the mic. Might not be very clear. Rory, can you let me know if it's like you have two mics on or worse? Alright, let me see. Okay, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Is this better? Or is it still worse? I took all out of the mic. So can you let me know if it's still bad? Still echoing. Oh. Testing. Testing. Oh my goodness, why is it echoing? Let me see. Properties. Testing. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Oh my goodness, why is it echoing? Testing. Okay, sorry Rory, is it still echoing? I make sure that my phone is away from the mic. Is it still echoing? The graph is doubled as well. Oh no, it's still echoing. Okay. Alright, let me. Let me see what I can do. Okay, sorry about the delay. Why is it echoing? Stop audio, video capture device. Oh no, it's echoing. Okay, sorry about the delay. Media source. Okay, sorry about the echo. Let me see how I can do it. Okay, so I think sorry about the echo. I'll fix it, right? Let me see if we might have to actually put up with it. Alright, sorry about the echoing. Alright, so just bear with me for a bit. Alright, I'll go through all the charts and make sure that everything will be fine. Alright, I'll make sure that the echoing will be okay. Alright, sorry about the echo. Okay, so to make sure that we go through the pre-market analysis, right? Sorry that you have to put up with the echoing. Okay. Alright, so let's go. Okay, let me see. Still echoing. Okay, sorry about that. I'll fix it in the future. Alright, so we might have to go through all these pairs. Alright, so sorry about the echo. Right? Okay, so let's go through. The chart is okay now. Alright, great. Yes, thank you, Rory, for understanding. I tried to actually make sure that it doesn't have the echo, but I can't fix it as of right now. But let's move on. Alright. Okay, so let's go through euro dollar. Alright, because I feel that euro dollar, as of right now, we have a very good opportunities for sales. Alright, let's look at okay. Okay, so bear with me for a little bit, right? So we have the pivot point, right? We have the pivot point right here. Okay, I might have to extend it a little bit more. Okay, I think this is fine. Okay, we have the pivot point, alright, at the 1.1532 level. Okay, so this is a very strong level of overlap resistance. Okay, that's why we have chosen this as our pivot point. Alright, so we are looking for sales. Okay, and this aligns with the 127.2% extension level, right? So this is a good sell opportunity. Okay, so once price reaches this area, we are looking for sales towards the first support level over here. Alright, so if you guys have went through the previous pre-market analysis, you'll know that we will do something like this, which is a Nike tick. Alright, so this Nike tick will show the extension level, which is the 127.2% extension level, as well as what we have here is a first resistance level, which is a overlap resistance level over here. Okay, and it aligns very nicely with the 145. I'm not sure if you guys can see 145% extension level. Alright, okay, so let's move on. Yeah. Okay, so and if we were to draw the feeble retracement level from this high to this low, right? We have the 78.6% feeble retracement level, as well as the 145% extension level. Alright, which is our first resistance area. Alright, so if this pivot point doesn't work out, Alright, we have our next sell level over here. Okay, so I would say this RR, which is our risk to reward ratio, is actually pretty decent, right? We have a right here. So this is a swing trade. Okay. Then if you were to sell, if you were to take a sell position right here, okay, then you are looking to swing towards this first support level over here again. Alright, so for euro dollar, I think it is pretty straightforward. Okay, so let's move on to GBP USD. Alright, a GBP USD right as of right now, it is bullish, so we are looking for a sell opportunity, right? So this aligns with our euro dollar, and the pound dollar moves almost in the same way as the euro dollar. Okay, so we are looking for sells, and this makes sense because as of right here, okay, I think this is a nicer level. Okay, we have a overlap resistance level, which is our pivot point, and it aligns very nicely with the 61.8% projection level, as well as the 145% extension level over here. Okay, and this extension level, this 145% extension level, is drawn based off this Nike tick over here. Alright. Oops, let me see. Okay. So we also have this alright, and then our first resistance levels aligns very nicely with this 78.6% projection level, alright, based off the Nike tick as well. Alright, then we are looking to sell from the pivot point to the first support level over here. Alright, so it's pretty straightforward as well. Okay, so you can take a screenshot or something, right, for all the for all these levels. Okay, then the next thing is USD JPY. Alright, what is this gray levels over here? Let's remove this. Okay, so as of right now, USD JPY is falling. Price is falling towards this pivot point, and we also let me see. We also have a 78.6%. Let me withdraw it. 78.6%. Alright, we have the 78.6% projection level over here, which aligns with the which aligns with our pivot point. Okay, and this pivot point is a very nice pivot point because it is a multi-swing low support level, which you can see this first support level, once it tapped, right, price flew up. Once it tapped, price flew up. Then the next thing we can look at is once it tapped, price will fly up. So we are expecting for price to come down towards our pivot point to rise towards our first resistance level. Okay, so this is a pretty straightforward trade as well. And then for our first support level over here, this is just a very simple overlap support level over here. Alright, let me see. Yep, I can't find any feeble retracement level, so we shall ignore that. Okay, I think for USD it will be a very good opportunity to trade as well, right? So far we are aligned for the euro dollar, pound dollar, and then for USD it will go in the opposite direction. Okay, then we will go through USD CHF. Okay, so as of right now, USD CHF, let me see. Wow, it is very okay. I don't really like USD CHF right now because let me see. Okay, let me see if I can draw. Yep, I think for USD CHF, right? It doesn't look too good on this side, right? Because if I were to draw a extension, right? If I were to draw a extension, right? I think the only pivot point, yep, I can't use the 127% extension level because price has really closed below this 127.2% extension level, so I wouldn't want to use that. Alright, so let me see. Yeah, I think the only let me see if this aligns with the this level over here, which is a swing low support level, right? It aligns very nicely with the 161.8% extension level, right? So I will use this as my pivot point, and then this shall be my 161.8% level over here. Let me see how many pips is this. 257 pips. Yeah, I think it's fine. Okay, so this shall be our resistance point. Alright. And then our support level will be right over here. Wow, it's gonna be pretty far. I think we can use this as our pivot level. Sorry, not pivot level, but our first support level. Yeah, I think this shall be our first support level. Okay, so this shall be our swing trade. Okay, so USD CHF, I wouldn't say I am very confident, right? Because it doesn't really make sense. Price is going in the middle of nowhere, right? If I were to go to H4, it is actually consolidating right over here. Okay, so once it consolidates, right? Once we have bearish movement, consolidation, and then it will definitely go down to our pivot point. Okay, so I wouldn't like this trade at all. Okay, so the only option is for price to go to our pivot point, and then we have a pretty nice long position over here, right? Slightly below the first support level, and then we are looking for a swing trade over here. 1:2.64 risk to reward ratio. Okay. Alright, then the next thing is a USD CAD. Okay, so USD CAD is so far, let me see, so far it is hovering above this pivot point as of right now. Okay, so I would say I will use this as my I shall use this as my pivot point, and then this shall be my first support level. Alright, then let me see if price aligns with any fib level over here. No, it doesn't really align with any fib level. Okay, so we shall take this out. Okay, then let me see. Okay, doesn't align with our extension level as well. Okay, let me see if we have projection. Oops, not like this. Okay. Alright, I think this first resistance level actually aligns with our projection, right? 61.8% projection level. Okay, so we are expecting for price to bounce off this pivot point to go towards this first resistance level. Alright, I think it is a pretty good risk to reward ratio as well. Let me see. Yeah, 1:1.51. Alright, I think this might be a swing trade because if you look at market structure, alright, if we look at weekly we have this is just a slight correction. Alright, weekly we have very nice structure, market structure over here, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. What's next? Higher highs, potentials for higher highs. Okay, so this is on a weekly time frame. AUD CAD please. Okay, sure. Let me just go through AUD CAD. Okay, let me go through AUD CAD. I see markets. Okay. Alright, so for AUD CAD, right now we have price has already bounced off this pivot point, right? If we look at H4 time frame, I think if price is still hovering around this pivot point, might be a good opportunity for buys. Sells, right? We want to be on the sell side rather than the buy side, right? A lot of people might be trapped and do buys over here, but I would say we should continue for sells, right? But for AUD CAD, if price doesn't go back to our pivot point over here, then we shall just get rid of this trade. Okay. Yeah, because our level is this first support level aligns very nicely with the 38.2% feeble retracement level, and this first resistance level aligns with the 71% feeble retracement level as well. Okay, so let me see. So that is about it for AUD CAD. I hope it answers your question. RAN. Okay, then we went through AUD USD as well, so let's go through NZD USD. Okay, so for NZD USD, right, we already missed the sells over here, so I think the next level that we want to look at might be actually buys over here. Okay, I think buys might be a pretty good option. Okay, this will be our pivot point. This is a overlap support level. Alright, then our support level will be this low over here. First support, oh, might be able to extend all the way until here. Okay, great, very solid support level over here. Okay, then our resistance level would be let me see, H4. Yeah, I think this is fine. Okay, first resistance level. Alright, so I think this is okay, right? This level might be a good opportunity, but it contradicts it actually contradicts AUD USD, right? Because AUD USD we are looking for sells, while NZD USD we are looking for buys, which doesn't really make sense. Okay, so I would say if possible, right, what I want for price to do is to actually come towards this pivot point over here, right, for price to come up here, so that we don't want to contradict AUD USD. Alright, does it make sense? Okay, then our first resistance level will be this overlap resistance level. Okay, and then for our support level, we shall use this as our support level over here. Alright, so we are looking for price to go towards our pivot point. Oh, bearish arrow. Bearish arrow. Okay. Yeah, so we wouldn't use any Fibo retracement level as of right now. Okay. Let's see. Let's see if we are able to draw our yep, we have the 161.8% Fibo retracement Fibo extension level over here, which is a very nice level for our pivot point. Okay, so this is the only confluence that we are looking for. Alright, so let's move on to oil. Okay, so for oil, right, I would say a 61.8%. Okay. Okay, so our pivot point line aligns very nicely with the 61.8% Fibo retracement level. Okay, then for our resistance point, our first resistance level, we shall use this swing high resistance level over here. Okay, then for our support level, right, we can use this this pullback support level over here. Alright, so as of right now, oil is in a bearish market structure, so we are looking for sells only, right? So look for sells instead of buys. Alright, I think it's pretty straightforward. Let me see if we have projection. I don't think we have projection over here. Yep, projection is impossible. Okay, so I think this is pretty straightforward for oil. Alright, then the next thing is we want to look at for gold. Okay, so for gold, as of right now, gold is still very bullish, right? Right, if you were to trade the H4 time frame, you might be able to look for, you can see the pivot point, right? We already see a reaction from the pivot point all the way to this 61.8% projection over here. So I wouldn't want to trade gold. Okay, let me see. Yeah, I wouldn't want to go in the direction of gold as well, so we shall not. Let me see if we are able to find. Yep, we already have a reaction over here, so we are not able to use extension as well, I believe. 161, yep, we already passed by it. Okay, so we shall not trade gold for the time being because I feel that gold is very volatile and it's going in a one direction. So for the daily analysis for gold, I would suggest to avoid it. But if you want to trade the H4 chart of gold, is still possible. Alright. Okay, so let me go through a few more pairs, right? Like BTC USD. Okay, so let me see on the daily time frame. Alright, daily time frame, we might want to stick to the buys. Alright, so let me see. Okay, so pivot point is right here, right? But what we are looking for is we are looking for price to come up to this level over here. First resistance, and we want to look for a breakthrough. Okay, so we want price to actually, because what we are looking at is right now, right? Price is, oops, sorry, my handwriting is a little bit ugly. Okay, we have a bullish structure over here, and then we have consolidation. What we want is for price to break through this level of pivot point and then come up to this resistance level over here. So I think it's pretty straightforward. Okay, then for our support level, right, our support level is over here. So it is a pretty tight level between 82,000 and 88,000, right? Then our pivot point is in between. So there is a gap of 3,000 points, right, for BTC USD. Okay. Alright, so I don't think we can use FIBO retracement level. Alright, so let's just move on. Let's go through ETH as well. Okay, so ETH as of right now, I would say we have already broken out of this descending trend line over here. I would say temporarily. Okay, so as of right now, we have broken through. We are reacting towards this pivot point over here. So we could possibly react to this first resistance level. Okay, then we will use this as our first support level over here. Alright, because we have broken through a previous descending trend line. Alright, and let's see how price might actually react to this pivot point and bounce off this pivot point to rise towards this first resistance level over here. Okay. Yeah, I think for ETH USD, right, if you look over here, we can actually drag it all the way to this multi-swing low support level over here. Okay, so let's just take a moment to actually digest this for a little bit, right? Then we will take a few more minutes before we end off this session, alright? Really sorry for the echo. I hope you guys will be able to catch all these traits, right? I'll fix the echo, okay? And really thank you for understanding Rory and the rest of the attendees, right? Because I want to move on so that you guys will be able to catch all these traits, alright? Okay, so the last two traits, okay, let's maybe go through US thoroughly. Okay, we are in a bearish state right now. Okay, if price actually breaks past this this level of support right here, then we want to look for sells. By breaking through this pivot point, what I mean is we want price to close below. Okay, just a tiny closure so that you will have to you can have a better risk to reward ratio. Okay, let me see if we are able to find okay, I think this looks very nice. Oops, sorry. Yeah, because US 30 is bearish right now, so we want to look for sells. Okay, let me see if you can look for any projection. Okay, so we can see that we have our first support that aligns very nicely with the 61.8% Fibo projection level over here. Okay, so that is why we are looking for sells, right, for price to actually break through this support level over here, which is our pivot point, to fall towards the first support level. Okay, so the last thing we want to go through is S&P 500. Alright, so S&P 500, there is a possibility for price to actually rise up from here, right? Price is actually bouncing off this pivot point. So this is good news, right, for those that dabble into S&P 500 or any other index funds, right? So we are expecting for price to have a short push towards this first resistance level, okay? But ultimately we would want price to react to this resistance level, as well as to break through this resistance level, so that we will be able to have market recovery. Alright, because I know some of you might actually trade S&P 500, okay? So we want a good market recovery so that you guys will be able to catch the dip. Alright, okay, so that is the end of all the pairs. We have covered the crypto, we have covered the majors, we have covered commodities, as well as certain indices. Alright, thank you for joining in yet again to today's pre-market analysis. I'm so sorry for the echo, right? I'll fix it, and then yes, I'm glad that you guys have put up with the echo. I really appreciate it, and appreciate the understanding as well. Alright, so that is all from myself to you guys. I hope that you guys stay safe and trade safe. Alright, that is all from me to you. I shall see you guys next time again. Thank you. Bye bye. Welcome Rory. Thank you for letting me know that there is an echo. Alright? I shall make sure that there is no echo next time. Okay? Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate your understanding as well. Okay? Bye bye.